Welcome to In the Deep. I'm your host, Catherine Ingram. The following is excerpted from a session of Dharma Dialogues called Confidence. I've retitled this selection, Getting Through the Holidays. It was recorded in Los Angeles in 2005. Often at this time of year, people have unrealistic expectations about celebration. Isn't it? Sometimes, of course, some people are getting together with family and friends and lots of parties and gatherings and dinners and so on. But other people maybe are feeling a kind of emptiness or loneliness and an expectation of something that gives this time more meaning. Or there's this hope of an idea about celebration which has to do with a kind of excitement or revving up, like having your toes curled, having a great thrill of some sort or some deep kind of satisfaction in an experience. But in fact, in my experience, celebration is actually a much more quiet experience, a much more quiet immersion. It's not a big external revving up and more, and how can I get more thrill out of this? Or how can I feel some sort of profound connection in some intensity of experience? You know how we often have those disappointing New Year's Eve experiences? Instead of that, to return to the deep inner quiet of being, that is where the celebration is. The more quiet you are, the deeper the celebration. And when I say this word celebration, really you can substitute the word appreciation. Isn't that a better understanding in a way? A deep and profound appreciation. And it comes so naturally when we are at ease and at rest in our own skin, in our own self. This sense of appreciation for every little simple thing. And if you happen to be alone, an appreciation for the quiet and the stillness and the peace. It's kind of a torment to have an expectation of some kind of celebration that is external to you. But when you switch it around and you keep going deeper into just the sweetness of being, the sweetness of your own self, of being, then you feel like you're celebrating every day. And there isn't so much riding on these concepts about holidays and family and the shoulds of it all. And you're left with appreciating it as it is. I was just remembering as I was sitting here years ago, when I was studying Buddhism and living near our meditation center in Massachusetts that I had helped to found long ago, I would spend almost every New Year's Eve at the meditation center in silence, and it was just another night there. It was more like you would imagine the galaxy is experiencing the night, not with a concept of New Year's Eve. It was just another day of sitting and walking and having tea in the afternoon, and I would usually go to bed at around 10:30 that night. Very quiet, delicious ease of being, not making any big production. And from that vantage point, from that relaxation, then you go through this season and you are able to appreciate, the lights and the festivity of it, but with no expectation whatsoever that it needs to be somehow more meaningful. So then you just find yourself, it's like an excuse to have these gatherings, and it's an excuse to have beautiful lights to look at and all of that. But to really not make it in your heart some other huge thing about, especially around family issues or relationship issues. A lot of times, if someone is living alone, or even sometimes in relationship or within the context of family, this season can bring up all kinds of disturbing feelings. And I'm just saying that this is a metaphor, in a sense, for the kinds of expectations that we put on events and on holidays and on any kind of externality for our happiness, when in fact the celebration is always, not just at this time, but always, a quiet appreciation inside for life, for beauty. Despite everything, despite the horrors that are going on, and they are many, it is always, an internal perspective that allows this sense of gratitude and of appreciation. Okay, it's my little holiday speech. So, if you have any questions, anything you'd like to ask on these subjects?
As you acknowledge that there is a very strong upwelling of issue-related feeling around this time of year.
Can you speak up?
I thought I was, but I guess it gets to a point for me where it becomes a moment-to-moment conscious effort to deal with it. It kind of takes up all the time and energy. So whereas the moments for appreciating life.
In other words, though,
I don't disagree with anything you're saying. I get it, but I just know that, at some turn of the clock, I generally find myself in that place.
In a place of
feeling very deeply and of longing for lost family and
longing for lost family, longing for something
other than what is, I guess you could say.
And that's a lot of suffering, isn't it?
Yeah, it's ever more excruciating.
Yes.
Which has a tempering force to it. We've talked about this before, and I really am at the far end of that whole journey now, where I am sort of benefiting from this propensity to entertain all this, and
Yeah, but the holidays are a particularly challenging time for those kinds of dips into depressive thought. right? So yes, a vigilance is good. You make your holiday vigilance be this, kind of imagining, in a way, in a sense, your own, candle in your heart, right? Your own light. Because those external candles are not going to do it, right? And it's always this way. This time of year, it's more intense, but it's always this way. It's simply a recognition at any given moment. You can notice yourself going into the thought of what's missing, and that list is endless, right? Endless.
Even the short list is endless.
Yes, even the short list is endless, right.
Just before I pass it along, I just want to say to you, give you my profound thanks for having this available for us as often as you have, and for your time here in LA. Very much appreciating that you've been here. And thank you.
Thank you. This has been In the Deep with Catherine Ingram. If you'd like to find out more about my work or make a tax-deductible donation in support of these podcasts, please visit catherineingram.com. And you can follow me on Twitter at Cath Ingram for notice of additional podcasts and other musings. Till next time.